Let's get more on this from Guy Lynn, who's in Westminster for us this evening. Guy.
Yeah, I think the key thing to say, Alice, about this memorial is that discussion has always been, and of course controversy, not about whether there should be a memorial, but about where it should be located. And the fact that it now will be located here, very near Parliament, has been welcomed by members of the Jewish community. I spoke to a leading member just before who said he was absolutely delighted. He said it was fitting and proper that it should be just a few seconds from the seat of government. Of course, not everyone agrees. There were other concerns that it may also be some kind of magnet for terrorism. The government said that they've dealt with those concerns. That is not a problem. They said that it is going to be safe. But of course, it is a very significant announcement for the Jewish community. And it comes on the day that we've had some really quite worrying statistics. And those statistics show that over the last few months, anti-Semitic attacks on London's Jews have increased.
Cars draped in Palestinian flags in the wake of a surge of violence in the Middle East. Abuse at London's Jews shouted from a megaphone, so offensive we can't play the sound.
A very historic synagogue, and notice some of the beautiful architecture here.
Since he was a boy, Rabbi Moshe has occasionally experienced anti-Semitism. Yet since the conflict in the Middle East in May, he's experienced more random abuse on trains in the park than he's ever seen before.
I feel scared for my safety. I think everyone would. I feel angry because there's very little I can do about it. At the time, you don't want to be confrontational, you don't want to start a fight with anyone, you're worried about where things will escalate. So you feel that you want to try and run away and you want to try and get away from that situation as soon as possible. But at the same time, you get very angry that there's very little that you can do about it.
And Moishe's not alone. New figures from the Metropolitan Police show that since 2018, around 7 to 20 or so incidents were reported per month. But in May this year, that surged to nearly 90, around 4 times higher than any other month in the last few years. One Jewish charity which has been logging abuse since 1984 says they've also seen a huge rise in reports from worried Jewish Londoners in the same period.
They had been shouted at in the street, they'd seen anti-Semitic graffiti, they'd been insulted online because they are Jewish. And this all happened with language and behaviour relating to what was happening in the Middle East at the time. So it's no surprise to us that the figures the police have released today matches the figures that we received as well.
In London, there were large anti-Israel demos in May, which on occasions also saw pockets of anti-Semitism. During that period, Moishe and his family got advised by their synagogue security officer to stay at home for their safety. He and other Jewish Londoners don't feel they should have to lock themselves in just for being who they are. Guy Lynn, BBC London.